Thumbs up.
Thumbs
I
up.
love it. What is up, everybody? It is Memorial Day today, so we just want to say thank you to our service members. We really appreciate y'all. We appreciate everyone that's given their service and given their time to our country and our freedoms, and we do not take it lightly, or at least I do not. And I know all of us here don't take it lightly. So we really, really appreciate all of our service members, our veterans, and for those that made the ultimate sacrifice, we thank you very much, very, very much for your sacrifice. So jumping into it, Caleb, do you want to say anything about Memorial Day, buddy?
I just want to say again, remember to all of our troops and all of our fallen heroes, and hopefully, God willing, we're in a situation to where we don't have to keep remembering fallen heroes in this country.
I agree.
For sure.
I think that this incessant and for some reason, since we've been in high school, we've been at war, and this is it needs to stop. We need to stop killing people. It's crazy.
I think
we need to diplomacy. I think needs to come around a lot more than this war machine that's going on right now.
It's military-industrial complex needs to be
Well,
held in
it's
check.
crazy, right? Because and we're going to jump right into this too, because this kind of plays into what we're going to talk about next, which is the debt ceiling and everything. I mean, whenever we are spending so much on defense, which I 100% agree to some extent, like we need to be in a strong position as a country. We need to be able to protect ourselves. We need to be able to fight battles if they do arise, but it needs to be the last case scenario. What we do is we immediately start killing people. Yeah. It's ridiculous. And for what? What are we doing over? What are we doing all of this over? For land? No. What is going on?
For resources and power, and America's been the sort of this, what do we say, we police the world, type deal. We stick our noses in everything.
I don't think we should be doing that.
I don't think
we have enough problems here at home, buddy.
Most Americans feel the same way we do, I would say.
I think so too.
And especially after things like Iraq and Afghanistan, I think people have now realized
we were just lied to. We were just lied to, and we know we were lied to now, and they know that we know that they lied about the whole thing. Yeah. And if you don't think that there's a lot of lies going on right now with the Ukraine and Russia thing that's going on, it is ridiculous, man. Why? What are we doing?
Yeah, no,
it's crazy.
100%. I agree 100%. You can't keep poking the bear. Everyone wants to paint Putin out to be this sort of crazy dictator type dude. And don't get me wrong, I'm against war, period. I'm against any country invading another country, but for Biden to get out on a podium and literally tell the American public this unprovoked war, right? He said it 20 times, unprovoked. It's that crazy. Is the biggest lie.
It's a lie.
It's a lie.
Yeah. I mean, what would we do if a country that didn't have our agenda or that was hostile towards us started putting weapons of mass destruction across the border of Canada and Mexico? You don't think that we would do something about that?
Canada, Mexico, Cuba. I mean, people
we did.
Close to us.
We did
the same thing.
We literally did the exact same thing. Yeah. Russia went to Cuba. We had the Russian missile crisis, the Cuban missile crisis, the whole 9 yards. Yeah. And what did we do? Yeah. We did the exact same thing. So this is provoked. It is not unprovoked. It's provoked.
The other thing, Mike, I found interesting too is if they're at war, right? If they're at war, how the hell is Zelensky doing this tour? Did you see the other day Scott? Where was he, in Austria or somewhere? He was in a country. They got up. They protest.
It's crazy.
I saw it. I think it was in Austria.
He's just being what he is, which is an actor.
Yeah, he's like going
he's a great
on
actor.
Tour.
Yeah,
and like just collecting all this money.
It's crazy. Billions and billions and billions of dollars.
Dude, they got up and protested and walked out, but the mainstream media is not showing it.
Yeah. Well, this debt ceiling, I mean, we've. I know we were going to pull this up, Scott. But when was the last time that the debt ceiling thing happened? Did you look that up yet? Go ahead and pull that.
I saw they raised it 14 times between 2001 and 2016. It's just a vicious cycle.
Wow.
They just keep raising.
Unbelievable. Yeah. So we're going to go over this a little bit, and we kind of want to dive into this for a few minutes. This debt ceiling thing. So we've got an article that we've pulled up from Fox. Is this Fox News? Yeah, foxnews.com. And, I think there's people on both sides of the aisle right now that are, that I think both are mad about what's happened. I think that, as this says, this is a step in the right direction. I think it probably is a step in the right direction. I think that there's probably a lot more that should have been done, but should and could are two completely different scenarios. And I think that McCarthy had the entire power, right? Because if they default, no one remembers that it's McCarthy, right? They just remember the president of the United States.
Sure.
So Joe Biden, he was backed into a corner here. And I think that the Republicans and McCarthy could have gotten a lot more. I think they could have gotten 100% of whatever they wanted if they would have just stuck to their guns. Now, I'm not saying that McCarthy didn't get exactly what he wanted, because I think McCarthy is a rhino, to be quite honest with you. So I think that they all want to spend more money.
Yeah.
I think all of the politicians want this, and that they have to play a game to the American people. I don't think that there is a trustworthy politician anymore on either side of the aisle.
No.
I just don't. I think that there's a lot of people that go in with great intentions, and then immediately that machine just chops them into pieces.
Money is not free. Okay, America does not have this unlimited ability to just print money. The biggest issue I think we've all faced is that everyone's brainwashed.
Yeah.
Everyone in this country is brainwashed. Politicians, top down, all the way to our noble citizens, Mike. We're all brainwashed. We're all under this impression that, we'll just send money here, just print money, send money. We're going to go bankrupt. Just print more money, do this. You cannot do that, because it's basic economics 101. I am not an economics major. I am not a politician, but I have common sense. When you print $1, somebody has to pay.
Yep.
Guess who's going to pay? Our kids.
Yeah.
And so when you do this, you are just making it worse and worse for everyone. We're seeing that. We're seeing what inflation is doing to this country. It's killing us.
Yep.
Absolutely killing us.
And all we're doing is every time we print, we're just delaying the inevitable.
Yeah.
That's all we're doing. We're delaying what's going to eventually happen. Yeah. If you think that it's bad right now, inflation's bad right now at, 4 or 5%, 6%, something like that, just wait.
No.
It could be 20.
No, easy.
It could easily. We have printed so much money that if we don't stop right now and get our shit together, we are going to be in a world of hurt in the next decade. And it doesn't matter what president it is. It could be Jesus Christ himself come down, and he wouldn't be able to get us out of this hole.
Yeah.
I mean, we're trillions and trillions of dollars in debt.
So let me understand this, right? This country is trillions of dollars in debt, but yet we are still supporting other people.
It's crazy to me. It's absolutely insanity.
It's like you have no money left in the bank. You have a credit card that some idiot bank is letting you just have unlimited credit, and you invite all your friends to dinner, and you're picking up the tab, but you have no money to pay for it.
And China is sitting there, and they are our bank.
They're rich. And by the way,
they are loving every minute of it.
The other thing that, we give money to rich countries.
Yeah, China.
No, there's other ones too. I'm kind of scared to name. We give money
Saudi Arabia,
to rich countries.
Are you kidding me?
It's insane.
And we're not even giving it to the country. That's what most people don't understand. We're giving it to the people in power in those countries. Yeah. And then they do with it whatever they want to do with it. Yeah. They don't have the same regulations that we have here. No. So if they want to give their money away to themselves, they can absolutely do that.
That's what happened in Ukraine.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening in Ukraine right now. Sure. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Zelensky's a billionaire. Yeah. The guy's a bona fide billionaire now because of us.
I know.
And there's no one that can tell him no. He can spend the money however he wants to spend it. It doesn't matter. Yeah. If he wants to go buy a house in San Francisco, he can go buy a house in San Francisco. It's probably more dangerous in San Francisco right now than it is in Ukraine.
Oh no, it's funny. That's true. They did show some pictures of some I saw it, some clubs in Kiev, and you want those people to still live, but it's not. Yeah. It's not as crazy.
Diplomacy.
This is what war zone.
You have to negotiate. What do we do? What do we get? Send tanks? We're sending F-18s now. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
This is proxy war with Russia.
It's ridiculous.
Is a bad idea.
It's bad idea, man.
And I don't think most Americans are on board. No, we just need to de-escalate this situation.
But this debt ceiling, pull up that thing. I'm gonna go over a couple of key points here on this debt ceiling. That they had at the bottom, at the very very bottom. There's a long list of kind of what they think they like and don't. Okay, here we go. So we're just gonna go over a few of these because as it gets to the bottom, it gets a little dumb, I guess. It's just not enough to read, or not worthy enough to read. So, but this is what I really like. There's a few things in here that I really want to like. Number one is it cuts spending year over year. So it rolls back non-defense discretionary spending to fiscal year 2022 levels, which I think that we should go back to even pre-COVID levels. Like we should be in the 2018, 2019 defense spending, not 2022. It limits top-line federal spending to 1% annual growth for the next 6 years. I think that should have been zero. I don't think that we need to be raising our debt ceiling and anything by any measure, but 1% is a whole lot better than what they were doing. This is the one that I really, really, really like. This next one, this number 3, and I want to talk about this for a little bit. It will help lift millions out of poverty by enacting work requirements for food stamps and welfare benefits. So that means that if you're on food stamps and you're on welfare, you got to get a job.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what kind of job it is, doesn't matter how much money you make, but you have to have a job, you have to be working, you have to be paying taxes, you have to be paying into this great society, this great country that you are benefiting from off of my tax dollars and your tax dollars because I work and I pay taxes. And if you're going to live off of my money, which I'm giving to the federal government, then you need to be working too. I don't think you should be able to sit at home while I work and then pay you to be able to sit at home. That doesn't make any sense to me at all.
I see a lot of people on disability. Shouldn't be on disability.
Yeah, they're milking the system.
Shouldn't be on disability.
Yeah, 100%.
And, I never say anything because it's not my place, but because I'm not the one that gave it to them.
What can you do? You're going to turn them away?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You're not going to turn them away.
I don't like to rock the boat, but in my head, I'm just like, you could so be working right now.
Yeah. And
It's,
there's so many different types of jobs now too. I mean, you can sit behind a computer at home and work. You can. There's so many.
And everyone's hiring.
Everyone's hiring.
Everyone's hiring. There's a lack of workforce right now.
Yeah.
Everyone's hiring.
Everyone's hiring. And people are making good money right now too. Wages have gone up. I know in our business, we've had to give lots of raises, because of inflation and things like that. And so, there's a lot of money to be had out there. I was talking to somebody yesterday. This morning. I was talking to a few friends at the gym this morning. And actually, when we get into something, I want to talk about some gym stuff too. But I was talking to some friends this morning, and I've heard this before, and I think it was Dana White that said this, and we could probably pull up the clip. There's no reason to. Dana White basically said that if you're a millennial right now and you're a hustler and you're a savage, you can absolutely destroy everyone. And he's 100% right. Wow. These weak-minded, non-motivated people that are in this world right now is absolutely crazy. And it is the majority of what is going on right now, especially Gen Z and those younger generations. And if you have some hustle, if you just go out there and show up every single day, you will be overly successful in this country right now. Yeah. Because there's so many people that just aren't showing up every day. It is Memorial Day weekend, and we are sitting here. It's 3:00 in the afternoon on Memorial Day, and we are all three sitting here. Scott had to bring his kid because this is how you hustle. This is how you do it. Yeah. You just do it. You make time when you have time. And this is what happens. This is how you have to do things. You have to go out there. You have to put yourself out there. Yeah. And if you don't, you're going to go broke. Yeah. And you're going to be depending on people for the rest of your life.
That's where we're at these days, man. Everyone just wants the handout.
Yeah, and so I think that this step 3 is an unbelievable thing. I think that it is great. I think if you're going to be paid for by other people's tax dollars, you need to be putting in something.
No, here's something. In a lot of the when you talk about Republicans and Democrats, a lot of them say, oh, well, you don't care about, impoverished people. You don't care about people who need help. And that's not true. To be honest, I'm a Democrat at heart. You know what I'm saying? I want everyone to be happy and healthy and prosperous. But what I don't want is to be taken advantage of.
Well, the only way to be happy and healthy and prosperous is to work hard. Yeah. It's the only way. Right. Dedication and working hard and due diligence and all of those things, being prepared, all of that stuff. Yeah. I had my sister, I love my sister to death. She's looking for a new job right now. And so she came to me a couple months ago, and she was like, I'm really nervous about going on these interviews and stuff like that. It's been, over a decade since I've looked for a new job. And this is what happens, right? People get comfortable. They're underpaid. They're not appreciated at their job, but they stay for whatever reason. People just stay all the time. And it's crazy to me. And so she asked me, she's like, what can I do? How can I? And I said, just over prepare. Be so prepared for any question that pops up that there's no way that you're going to be anxious, because you're overly prepared. And I think that preparation has gone out the window. We're a TikTok, Amazon, all of these things are right at our fingertips. I mean, I can get Chili's to my house in 35 minutes. Like anytime I want, I can just press a button, it's there. That instant gratification. But man, if we can just slow down a minute and we can start really dedicating ourselves and giving, and dedication is it. Determination, dedication, that's what it's about. Showing up every single day. Just show up every day. And you can crush right now.
Oh, agreed.
Because these kids out here, they're not doing it. I try to tell my kids all the time. I got a 15-year-old and a 13-year-old, and I try to tell them all the time, like, just hustle. All you have to do is hustle. Yeah. And you can win.
For sure.
But speaking of all of those Gen Zers and things like that, moving on to the next thing is what's going on with Target and this Bud Light thing that happened. I know we've talked about the Bud Light thing, but it looks like Target is even
I don't get it.
Even more.
I don't get it, Mike.
Yeah.
I don't get it, Mike. You're gonna have to help me figure this out. I just don't understand. I feel like sometimes I'm not living in reality.
Yeah.
Okay. If Target saw what happened to Bud Light, right? I think they're down 28% in revenue. That's a conservative number.
I think it's going up too. Yeah.
Why would they do that?
Well, I think, like we talked about last time, there's this ESG score, and these companies.
How much money are they getting? And this is the Soros funded thing. How much money are they getting? I saw
billions.
that thing.
It's billions, man.
Is it really that much, man? It just doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, these guys. It's unbelievable. But let's so boycotts initial effects hit Target stock harder than Bud Light's, and this was on 5/26. So what is today? This was 3 days ago. So scroll down a little bit, and we can read a little bit of this. In a sign that boycotts might be becoming more effective, Target stock dropped nearly 5 times more than Bud Light's at the same point in the boycott, and it's not slowing down either. By the way, the Bud Light. Apparently, their group came out and said that they were going to give it like 2 weeks to let it blow over, and that's what they thought, and the news cycle would change or whatever. We're going on month 2 now, and their sales are still down. I mean, it tells you that the common person is going against this.
But not just the common person, the common beer drinker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not just the common person.
Who does Target go after? Moms.
Yeah.
Moms.
I love Target. I have a Target credit card.
Yeah. So
Save 5%.
Moms go to Target.
Well, I used to love Target.
And then what happens? They start putting this gender ideology on kids.
It's
in kids' clothing.
I'm not okay with it.
And some of the items are like, they look like bondage items. They're trying to mask little girls' bodies and little boys' bodies so they look like a different it's absolutely insane.
They are normalizing something that is very abnormal.
Yeah. What happened to feminine boys and tomboy girls? What happened? It was very common when we were kids. I'm sure you knew tomboys, right?
Oh, yeah,
girls that just liked a lot of guy things. But they're girls. They're still girls. Yeah. Like the push on the kids is what is the reason that this is all happening. It's the kid thing. Why are we even discussing this with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds?
Because
why are adults discussing this with kids?
Okay, because the people that are on this sort of agenda, okay, it's very clear what they want. They want people like you and I, who at our core are really not okay with this agenda, right? We don't, now, see, this is where things get tricky. We're not saying you can't be your authentic self. Be what, I don't give a shit what you
100%.
are. You can do whatever you want after the age of 18.
Yep.
Do whatever you want, turn into whoever you want, act as, that's the beauty of America.
It is.
You can act as crazy as you want, dress as crazy as you want. No one gives a shit. You're not going to go to jail as long as you don't commit any crimes.
Yep.
But you guys keep pushing this shit on our kids. It's not cool.
It's not cool.
Someone has to stand up. And I think that's what we're doing collectively as a country.
Yeah, the American people are standing up.
Yeah, and rightfully so. Rightfully so.
And so apparently Target has now moved all of those items to the very back of the store in its own section, I guess, like a trans area. That's what they're saying now is what they're going to do. And apparently the LGBTQ community has come out and they're going to boycott Target now.
Yeah, that's what happened with Bud Light too.
Right. So
They're losing both ways.
So now you lose both. You lose everyone.
So that's my question to you, the original question to you. Why are they doing this? And your answer was that whole Soros
ESG,
funding
yeah,
ESG
it's-
score.
yeah.
But
And I think what's happening now is that these companies are like, this is we're not doing this anymore.
But they're still going. Ford put out the rainbow truck. Levi's just put a weird commercial out there.
Yeah.
All these major groups
I don't mind
are doing
anything.
this.
I don't mind anything. You can market to any audience you want. I think that any company should be able to market to any audience that they want. The problem is that once you start marketing to children,
Yeah, the kids is a big deal.
it's the children
Yeah,
thing.
for sure.
This is where the whole pushback is coming. I
Yeah,
think
it's a big deal.
it's because for some reason it never really happened with gay, lesbian, queer. None of that ever happened with kids. But for some reason, the trans ideology, I don't know why, they almost want there to be a connection to children with this trans movement. And I don't understand that at all. Like, I don't get it. I don't get that at any level.
I think the answer is because the deeper down you go down that sort of spectrum, the more all in you are, and then it's just almost like the gloves are off. Yeah, we're going after the kids. I mean, it's basically we're gonna rewrite what you guys think should be right versus wrong, and we'll start at the kid level. I think it's just the deeper down the spectrum that you get, man.
I don't understand. I don't understand why we are marketing products like that to children. It doesn't make any sense to me.
If you told me when I was a child, okay, now you really have to think about this. I want you to picture us being kids at Inwood Baptist, okay? Just think about it. How life was back then, right? How things were freaking normal, okay? And you said, hey, guess what, man? In 2023, Target is going to have a section in their store right when you walk in, promoting all this sort of LGBTQ AI plus pride sort of trans stuff. And could you imagine? You'd be like, dude, no way. Like, what? Are you crazy? Like, what? Are you crazy?
Do they want to go out of business?
I mean,
that's what we would have said. Do they want to go out of business?
Because you have to remember, back in those days, being gay was taboo.
Yeah, 100%.
You see what's happened?
Yep, 100%.
So my point is, some of these communities, they're taking it and they're running with it, and they are getting way out of control.
Yeah.
And this is what's happening.
It's like you said, you're an adult, you want to do whatever, so be it.
Yeah.
Go do whatever you want as an adult. But do not start going after the children.
Yeah.
Don't go after the kids, man. It's crazy.
It's bizarre to me that
absolutely
we're
crazy.
even having to discuss it. I
Yeah. Well, I think what you're going to see over the next probably 6 to 8 weeks, maybe even 6 to 8 months, is a complete reversal. I mean, one of the things that these companies do care about is money.
Yeah.
More than anything.
Yeah.
And if it starts to hurt their stock prices and things like that, and these CEOs and these VPs and all these people start seeing that they're hurting because of it, that it's affecting their livelihoods and their own self-worth, you'll see a change.
I don't think Bud Light's going to recover.
I don't think I think they will. I think the American people at a certain point will forgive. I think
It's going to be. It's going to be a big joke now.
Well, that's the thing, right? I mean, we went to. I told you we went to Pretty Liar yesterday, dude. There's nothing Bud Light anywhere. I mean, what's crazy? I went to the Astros game the other week, right? And so they have this huge Bud Light banner, right? That it's a bar, and they sell all Anheuser-Busch, but it just says Bud Light above the thing, right? Nobody was in line.
Yeah.
You looked right next door. Now, this didn't really make sense, but there was a Karbach one right there. Now, Anheuser-Busch owns Karbach.
Do they really?
But Karbach was the line was out. Like there's 200 people in that line waiting on Carbach. And I think the people just thought, oh, Carbach, it's a Houston beer.
Yeah, there's a family here.
Yeah.
They sold?
They sold to Anheuser-Busch
nice.
about, 7 years ago,
Oh,
7
nice.
years ago. They're a really good client of ours too.
yeah,
So Carbach, great beer, but
Shout out to Carbach.
they're unfortunately they're tied to that Anheuser-Busch, and it's affected their sales too. I mean, I've talked to a couple people over there, and it's affecting them as well.
No, I actually thought about boycotting Target myself, just because I don't like what they're doing. I mean, I have that little, like I said, credit card to save 5%, and I have one by my house. See, by my house, there's an H-E-B now, but in Meyerland Plaza, but there didn't used to be one.
Yeah.
And so Target was kind of, I utilized it as like groceries here and there. I would go all the time, just little pickup stuff. And I was like, oh, I love Target. Yeah. I bought TVs from Target, electronics from Target, games. You know what I'm saying?
I buy
I thought it was great. And then I don't know, man. I'm just over the whole thing.
Well, I got to tell you, if you're looking to not shop somewhere because of an ideology that you don't agree with that company has, go shop local, shop small business. Go out there and find someone that owns the place, that you can talk to them, you can shake their hand, you can look them in the eye, you know who they are. Go give business to those kind of people. Yeah. Give business to the people in your community. Yeah. What we're doing is we're going to Target because it's easy. They have everything all the time, no matter what. But most of these shop places, I mean, these small businesses now, they have online just like we do. We're a small business, and you can buy from us anywhere in the country, and we'll send it to you. A small business can do that as well. They can do it just as well as Target can. They can do it just as well as Amazon can in most cases now, just because of what's out there in the marketplace. Shop small. Go small business. Find all of those things from a small business somewhere that you would normally buy from Target, and just buy from them. Yeah. Give back to those people, because those are the ones that are hustling out there trying to make a living. And you've got Target out here that's a multi-billion-dollar, trillion-dollar company that's run by a French company. It's not even American-owned. No. And so I think that we should try to do that. On to other stores. Did you see this? And maybe we can pull this up. Lulu fired 2 employees in Atlanta. In Atlanta.
Hotlanta.
In Hotlanta. And get this. This is why the 2 employees were fired. They confronted masked robbers, tried to get them to not steal, and they called the cops. And the 2 employees at that Lululemon that did this, now they never, I don't think that they ever really touched the person, right? Did they were trying to tell them, no, you can't do this, you can't do this. Is that correct? Yeah. And the thieves were just cussing at them, and the women follow the group outside and watch as they pile into their getaway car. Scroll down a little bit. But notably, do not try to physically stop the thieves, which has caused workers to lose their jobs or face charges in the past. Instead, they reported the robbery to Gwinnett Police Department, who later tracked down the thieves and charged them with felony robbery charges. Those employees, apparently, because what they did was they said, stop, don't steal, don't do this. They never touched the people. The people still stole. They videotaped it. They posted it. And they got fired, because basically what Lulu is saying is that we will allow people to steal from our stores, and we don't want our employees, which I do understand there's a zero tolerance policy, because you don't want one of your employees to get hurt. You don't want them to get shot. You don't want to escalate the situation. You don't want other people in the store getting hurt or anything like that. But to tell someone, hey, you can't steal, and calling the cops, which is what you're supposed to do, and then you get fired for it, this makes absolutely no sense to me.
This is just as bad as what's happening in California, especially during COVID. Basically, stealing has become normal over there. If you go to like a Walgreens or something in California, everything's locked up now. You can't even buy anything. Everything's locked up, because in California they have that law: if you steal less than $1,000, it's like a misdemeanor.
Did you see
they don't even charge people?
So did you see it was like a Circle K owner in San Francisco? What he did is he made every single thing in his store $1,000. Candy bar, $1,000. And then when you get to the register, you can grab a coupon. Yeah. This is real. You can grab a coupon at the register, which will bring it down to the normal value. Yeah. And that way the tagged price is over the $900 limit, and they can
I love that.
Yeah. So, if you're a small business owner and you got to do something like that, that's crazy.
I love
You
that.
have to do something like that just to protect people from stealing your stuff because the government says they can take it if they want it.
The amount of looting and theft that went on, especially during COVID, but now it even lingered afterwards because nobody got in trouble, is unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
Unbelievable. And so, this is happening everywhere. I mean, you're seeing these videos, right?
I saw it in person. I saw it at Home Depot.
Here?
Yes, in Houston. I was walking inside Home Depot. This is a real story. This actually happened to me. This is about 6-8 months ago. I was walking inside Home Depot to grab light bulbs or something. I don't remember what I was there for. I walked in at the same time as like this 25-year-old Hispanic guy. Looked just like dressed like me, just a normal guy walking into Home Depot. So I'm literally 3 feet from the guy, and we walk the same way in. We turn right, like you go into Home Depot, they're all the same. You turn right, and there's the cash register or the customer service, whatever. Customer service is literally 25 feet from us. Okay, this guy goes over. They've got this huge Milwaukee tool end cap on the end of the pallet rack, that they put like tools and they have them on sale or whatever. This guy grabs as many as he can possibly carry, like $800 drills, and he's got 2 in each hand. Goes over, picks them up, and just walks straight out of the store. Doesn't do anything. And I'm like, hey. I'm like, hey, that guy, because we're right next to customer service. I'm like, hey, that guy is stealing. I said, he just picked that up. He's stealing it.
Yeah.
They looked at me like, so?
Oh my God.
And I was standing there and I was just like, hey, somebody needs to do something. This guy's stealing like $3,000 worth of drills right now. And so the customer service guy came out, looks at him and is like, yeah, it happens every day. There's nothing we can do about it.
Oh my God.
And I said, what do you mean there's nothing you can do about it? I said, just tell the guy to stop. Something.
Even in Texas, huh?
And he was like, no. He's like, we can't. Corporate says we can't touch them. We can't talk to them. Nothing. They have to just walk out on their own. And I said, so what's going to happen? He's like, I don't know. The employee had no idea.
Oh man.
So the guy just got $3,000 worth of drill for free. Just walked in, took it, and literally just got in his car and drove off.
Oh man.
It was the craziest. I got back in the car and I told my wife, I was like, I just saw the craziest thing happen. Somebody stole something, didn't do anything. Nobody did anything. It didn't even stop. Like nothing happened.
So exactly. So what's the incentivization for this guy not to do this again?
I know.
He's going to get away with it.
He's going to get away with it.
No one's going to investigate. No one's going to do anything. It's just going to keep this stuff like this is going to keep happening.
Yeah.
That to me, which is why this goes back to for me, dude. My biggest pet peeve with society right now. My biggest pet peeve. Again, I keep telling you this: peace and prosperity. 2 most important things a country can have.
Yep.
Is this sort of lack of criminal defense. Basically, no one is getting rehabilitated. You know what I'm saying? Nobody. Someone gets arrested for a crime. They go to prison. None of them really, really feel bad for what they did. None of them have an incentive not to do it again. If anything, there's just incentivization to keep doing it. And, it's become crazy. It's become absolutely insane. It's my biggest pet peeve.
Our prison system is completely broken. And we should actually do a podcast on that because it is insane that our prisons are privatized. People make money.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Off of incarcerated people. That is one of the craziest, worst disservices we've ever done to our country.
No, it's a very, very, very tough place to live in right now. It really is. We shouldn't have to
We've put money in everything. We've put money into every single aspect of our government, and it's ridiculous. These people are making billions of dollars by incarcerating people. That's how they make their money. The prison system, in my mind, is just as bad as a war machine and just as bad as all of the government entities that are out there that are taking advantage of the taxpayer and the American. It's absolutely crazy to me that we can send somebody to prison for marijuana and they can spend their entire life in prison, but yet we allow these things to happen every single day and nothing happens. What is going on? Why are we so broke as a country? Everything's broken. Nothing works right. If you look at any government entity, they're all broken. The last government entity to actually not cost the American taxpayers money was the Postal Service. Yeah. The Postal Service was the last thing, and it went insolvent in the 80s. In the 80s. That was the last government institution that actually didn't cost the taxpayers money, and it was 40 years ago. Yeah. And now it costs us money. when DHL, FedEx, and all of those other companies make billions doing the exact same thing.
Yeah. No, it's sad, man. It really is.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy to me. But, you know, what can you do? As an American citizen, what is out there for you to do, and what do we do as Americans? Like, what can me and you do to make this?
Well, we can, like we talked about, you have to vote the right people in place to make change. The problem is once you get into a situation where it's so hard to implement change, like, I don't know how we get out of this, Mike. I don't think we can, man. I don't think we can implement change. And then plus, you know, the not to be too pessimistic, which everyone accuses me of being a pessimist, when in reality I just tell people I'm just a truth speaker. There's a big difference between being a pessimist and a truth speaker, is that, you know, the direction that we're headed in is sad, man. It's just sad. You know, and all of this stuff comes to fruition when we talk about it, right? We talk about crime, inflation, this. It's like, what is going on? Can someone just put a stop to this?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I think it might actually be starting to head in the right direction, or if not head in the right direction, going that way is at least slowing down.
Yeah.
Right. I think that having people out there, and I know we talk about them a lot because, you know, we listen to them a lot, but, you know, like PBD and Rogan.
Love PBD.
And Tucker and all of these guys that are truth speakers. That's what they are. They're out there speaking the truth every single day, asking lots of questions, and they have some of the biggest platforms in the world right now. There's a reason that they have the biggest platforms, because truth, unfortunately, is not common anymore.
No, not at all.
And people are craving it.
For sure.
They crave the truth.
Yeah.
Because it's the only thing.
I think we've been lied to for so long that we're just tired of it.
Yeah.
And you can't hide it anymore, right?
No.
And in today's
You can't hide anything. You can't hide anything.
Yeah.
The internet is right here.
Yeah.
So it's always there.
Yeah, it's good and bad. It's good in that you have, you know, the truth is out there, but it's bad in that there's so much information now, it's hard to filter through all these things too.
Well, and see, that's the other thing. I always find myself like looking at a website and then I'm like, well, is this even true?
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem.
You know, and so you have to like look through 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and see what the differences are, and then try to make your own realization of it.
And then plus, to be honest, now with AI, God, some of the video, because before, if you saw a video, right, you just assumed a video was real,
right,
and authentic.
Yeah, because that person is speaking out of their mouth.
Yeah,
so you're like, okay, I can interpret that however I want.
Like
but that's what they said.
Like they showed a video of it was like Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga on the stage, and then Bradley Cooper fainted and all this stuff. And in reality, you look at the video, you're like, oh my God. And then you look at it, like, yeah, that was fake. It was like a really, really well done video. And it's like, and now with AI, you hear people's voices and stuff. So it's going to be really hard to figure out what's real and what's not.
Yeah, those deep fakes are getting better and better and better.
For sure.
Well, can we go to something a little lighter?
Yeah, for sure.
So this weekend, I had a great weekend, by the way, bro. So we got invited from a friend of ours. Her name's Ashley. She's an instructor at Lifetime. She does spin classes and stuff like that. She's one of my wife's really good friends. So we got invited to go to this place called the Riot Comedy Club. And it's like a little live comedy club above this restaurant over in Montrose area. And we had an awesome
It was
time.
a riot.
It was awesome. So we saw this guy, I think his name is Jeff Joe or something like that. Hilarious, dude. This guy is hilarious. I was crying. I was laughing so hard. But the reason that I want to get into this is because me and Ashley were talking at dinner before, and we were talking about gym etiquette. Yeah. And so I have some stuff that I want to go over about gym etiquette, if you don't mind. Will you indulge me?
Oh, no, please, because I got a lot to say, too.
All right, cool. So as most people know, I go to the gym every day. Pretty much 7 days a week. I go Monday through Friday. Monday through Thursday, I try to go twice. I try to go get my cardio done in the morning. Then in the afternoon, I go lift. And then on the weekends, I work out in the mornings only. But one of my biggest pet peeves at the gym, well, I have a bunch of them, but one of my biggest pet peeves is talking. And what I mean by talking is like, I'm in the middle of a set and a friend of mine will come up to me and then they want to have a 30-minute conversation with me while I'm working out. And I get it, right? Because I only see these people a lot of times just at the gym, right? They're my gym friends. And so we don't hang out a lot outside of the gym. So when we're at the gym, it's kind of the only time that we get to communicate and talk. But when I'm in the gym, I am solely focused on the task at hand because it's kind of like my woosah time. It's my time to just not think about work for a few hours and just let me get some really, really heavy lifts in so I can just kill myself at the gym and my brain can function. It's more of a mental break than it is anything for me. And I have people that come up to me and they'll start talking to me and I'm just sitting there and I'm like, bro, I'm right in the middle. I'm like, I'm getting cold. I'm already warmed up. Like, you know.
Now,
And
are you saying these things or are you just thinking these things?
Well, I'll do both. It depends on who it is. So unfortunately, people recognize me too because of our Instagram stuff. And so a lot of times it'll be a client or somebody coming up. So I have to indulge them in their conversation. But if it's a buddy of mine, I will literally look at him and be like, no, not right now, bro. But yeah, that's one of my biggest pet peeves. Re-racking weights.
Yeah. So,
Bro,
yeah.
I have absolutely no respect for someone that doesn't re-rack their weights.
Okay.
Zero.
Okay.
Do you just have a maid follow you around everywhere and clean up after you all the time? Like, is this how you live your life?
What if they only leave like a little bit of weight on there?
No.
Okay.
You know why? Because I have a 12-year-old daughter that works out at my gym too. And so when she goes over to some place and there's a 45-pound weight on there, she can't pick it up.
I get it.
She can put the 10 on there. She can put the 25 on there.
I get it.
And it's not just her. I mean, my wife is 90 pounds, right? I mean, what if she has to take off these weights? What if she, so it's just bad manners.
I have a follow-up question.
Yes.
Are you the type of guy every time you get off of, let's say, a incline bench or bench press or, some kind of a thing that you're laying on, are you doing the wipe down every time? So let me understand
with the sanitizing.
Right. So let me understand what you're doing because I need to know. Mm-hmm. So you are physically going to are we talking the spray and the towel or you're getting that wipey thingy?
The wipey
and,
thingy.
And you're wiping down even if you didn't sweat.
Even if I didn't sweat.
Okay.
Yep. And I not only wipe the thing, if I wipe the handle. So you know how the benches, the adjustable benches, and they have the little yellow handle that you can press and it goes down or up. Yeah. If I touch it, I wipe it.
Okay. Can I tell you what I do and then you can judge me?
Yeah.
I mean, and you can judge me on, and this is going to be on the internet forever. I don't really care. I'll just tell you. Okay. I have a hard time sweating during the weight training. I'll sweat on the Stairmaster, but if I'm lifting, even if I'm lifting heavy, maybe I just don't drink enough water, or maybe I just sweat too much during the Stairmaster. I don't know. I don't sweat that much. But if I'm on let's say, incline bench or something, whatever, I usually will take the towel and I'll put it down where my head's going to rest, because if you're going to sweat, more often it's going to come from the back of your head, right? So I'll do that. But if I, felt like I didn't leave any sort of precipitate.
Yeah, so that's actually not one of my pet peeves.
So you're okay with me not doing the wipe down?
Because I can wipe it. So what I do, like when I get to a bench, I immediately wipe
You're
the
a
bench.
pre and post wiper.
Pre and post.
Pre and post.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. It's just who I've always done it. So and I used to work out at CrossFit gyms a lot.
See, that's gross. CrossFit's gross. I mean, this is more stinkier and sweatier.
And we had a couple of people that got infections, from being around dirty equipment and stuff. And so since then, I've always just been like, I'm just gonna wipe everything down before I touch it because, unfortunately, I have a very bad habit of biting my nails.
Yeah.
And so if I touch something and I've bit my nail, it feels weird to me to just not wipe something down. I don't mind if someone doesn't wipe down their equipment. That doesn't bother me at all. It's not. It's not. Yeah. So another one of my pet peeves.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of dumbbell training. So I'll sit at a bench for an hour with dumbbells. Just doing all different kinds. Like this morning I did. Actually, I didn't do a lot of dumbbells because I did back today. But yesterday I did shoulder. Yesterday was chest. Sorry. So yesterday I did chest, and so I was on the bench for probably an hour and 15 minutes or so, doing lots of different dumbbell sizes, dumbbell reps, different types of reps and stuff. And for some reason, I don't understand why people go to where the dumbbells are, pick them up, stand right there, and do their workout.
Right in front of the rack.
And there's 30 benches behind them, free. that you can just go walk over, sit down, put your weight down, and have your own little area. But no, I want to be the guy that goes up and stands in front of the mirror. This morning, this literally happened this morning. I'm at the bench. I wasn't at the bench for very long because I was just doing hammer curls and some bicep work because I did back. So I was standing there, and this kid in front of me, right, probably 16, 17-year-old kid, working out. I mean, you can see he's in it, right? And this like 60-year-old man, and he's 4 feet from the weight rack. 4 feet, right? Because that's where the benches are. They're right in front of the weight rack. He's working out, and a lot of times, especially on incline, I like to see where I'm stopping because I don't want to go too low and rip my pec muscles on dumbbell flies. And that's what that kid was doing, was dumbbell flies. So he needs the mirror, right? You need to look to see how far down your elbows are going so they don't get hyperextended.
The old dude stands right in front of him?
Right in front of him for 20 minutes.
And the kid was probably
and
too.
Then,
he didn't
not
say
only
anything.
that, he has his phone, his towels, his keys on the thing.
On the rack.
On the rack, on other weights that he's not using.
The older guy.
Yes. And so I walk up, and I want the 55 pounds because I'm going to do 55-pound curls at the end of my set because it's the heaviest that I go is 55. And he's got his shit all over him.
Okay.
And I just walk up, and I'm like, are you using all of this? And he's like, oh, no, you can have whatever you want. And I'm like, well, then move your stuff.
Yeah.
And I wanted to tell him, like, there's a bench right there. Just take all of your stuff.
Yeah.
Go put it on that bench right there that it's there for. It's one of my biggest pet peeves. I hate it so much. I get physically angry. Like I want to grab them and move them. And be like, get the F away from here. Like, this is for everyone. Back up.
No, there's a few things too that bug me. What about the jump ropers? You got the jump ropers in the middle of the thing.
I don't mind jump roping at all.
No,
but
it just depends.
at the bench.
Yeah, it depends where you do it. Right.
There's an area for that. They have a whole area that is all for that kind of stuff. HIIT exercises. You can do lunges over there. They have areas for this stuff. You go to Lifetime, they're huge. Why do you have to do it right next to somebody that's lifting and jump rope? I saw somebody get hit once.
Oh yeah.
Because you don't think somebody's doing it, and all of a sudden a thing comes around, whacked him right in the freaking chin, dude.
No,
That's crazy.
The jump rope, you have to like go to the corner or something. You can't just do it
or to the designated area where they have the jump ropes.
The thing with me sometimes is I'll go to the gym. The hardest part for the gym is just, to me, walking in, right?
Oh, really? Just getting there?
Yeah, I mean, it's a long day, Mike. I'm tired. I know that I need to go, but just to me, walking in is the hardest part. Once you're there,
it's that for most people.
Yeah,
it's that for most people. Going is the toughest part, and once you get the discipline, though, it's second nature. Like, I don't not ever go to the gym.
Yeah.
Unless I'm just hurt or sick or whatever. It's just part of my daily routine now, and I enjoy it so much.
And then, like, sometimes when I'm there, if I'm not feeling it, I will get lost on my phone, right? So like in between sets, kind of on the phone. And so sometimes I'll be there and I'm like, whoa, shit, I didn't realize I've been just sitting on this machine
30 minutes.
Really not doing much, right? Some dude will come up.
You sound like my buddy Tyler. Shout out Tyler. He's always on his phone or talking
to
somebody.
Yeah.
I walked up to him this morning. He's like, I've been here for 45 minutes. I haven't worked out yet.
Yeah. And then some dude will come up and be like, hey, you could. And sometimes you could tell people are like eyeing the machine. They'll walk by you and they'll kind of look, and you look. You're like, okay, well, and then they'll be like, well, how many sets do you have left? And I'll be like, oh, and then I'll always speed up. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes they do it when I just got on there. And I'm like, dude, that's not cool. Like, you don't know how long I've been here. If I've only been here like a few minutes, don't rush me. You know? But I always offer. I'm like, oh, well, you can work in. Yeah, work in. I always offer.
I normally do too. Especially if it's a machine that they don't have a lot of those machines, like the leg extension,
the calf one, all that.
Yeah. And what are you gonna do? You're gonna use the thing the whole time?
No,
like you have to rest, right? So, I like working. I like allowing people to work in with me, but I also am okay if someone doesn't want me working in with them. Like, you got the machine, it's your machine.
But I know. I have never in my life asked to work in with someone. I would rather wait.
I've never asked, but if they ask me,
Right,
like
right,
if I
right.
walk up to them and say, "Hey, do you got one or two more,
Yeah.
or do you have a bunch?" and they
Yeah.
say, "Hey, you want to just work in?"
Yeah.
If it's like the calf machine, I'll always work in on a calf
But
machine.
you're like me. You're not the type to go and be like, "Oh, can I work in?"
No,
with
no,
you?"
no, no,
Yeah, I
no, no, no,
never
no,
do that. I'm
never,
like, go
never,
do
never.
something else.
No,
you know?
I'll just go find something else, and
something
then
else.
what I'll do. And the other thing that I don't like is when somebody asks you like how many sets you have left, and you're like, "Oh, I got 3 sets left," and they're like,
Yes.
I'm
It's like, dude, I just said 3.
"Go,
Yeah.
go, go away from me." Like I'm not gonna sit here and let you watch me work out. This is ridiculous. Just
No.
move away.
No.
You know.
No, but it is funny how the gym, we have like, this social network, friendly community there. It's cool. And most people that go every day.
Go every day.
Right?
Yep.
And so you see these people every day,
Mhm.
right? So eventually, you'll kind of cross paths and just, exchange some, words. And, it definitely like a community. Lifetime, where I work out, Greenway, definitely has that feel. I'm sure City Center has that feel
Same.
too.
Yeah, they're friends. I mean, they're
that's
my
cool.
friend, and the people that work there are my friends now. So like even the trainers, I don't use any of them, but and the teachers of the classes, they're all like my wife's friends.
And then seeing people evolve is cool too.
oh yeah,
right?
I really enjoy that.
Yeah, I mean, I did a little of that myself, and then I have some friends that did that, and I'm just, it's cool. And then
It
we
motivates
support
you.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Like I'll see a buddy of mine, John. Shout out John Irving, great guy. Him and his wife Sasha work out at Lifetime sometimes, and they're really good friends of ours. And he's real lean all the time. Like throughout the year, he's always really lean. But when he goes on vacation, he gets even leaner.
yeah.
And I got, I've never told him this, but I mean, it motivates me.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
Like when I see somebody that's going in and doing that, and they're getting real lean and everything, I'm like, oh man, now I want to do it. You know.
sure.
And it's one of the reasons why I follow a lot of fitness people on Instagram
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff. It motivates
Very
me
motivating. Very.
because I see some guy and I'm like, oh my gosh, his abs look amazing, or whatever. And I'm like, oh, his calves look great, chest looks, and I'm like, oh, I need to go to the gym.
Exercise, and I try and instill this in all my patients too, Mike, is the best medicine that you can give yourself.
Oh, especially mentally.
And the endorphins are irreplaceable.
Yeah.
There's nothing else you can do that will replace the endorphins you get when you're at the gym. Nothing. No drug, no experience, no nothing. And then to feel that every day is really, really good thing.
I agree.
And then exercise, it can reverse diabetes, it can reverse high blood pressure, it can reverse high cholesterol.
Yeah.
It's the best medicine you can give yourself for sure.
Well, speaking of medicine, I know when you walked in here earlier, you were talking about cold plunge, and you sent me that link earlier. I forgot that.
Well, you're
KK
getting
sent
me
the
into
link.
it.
And I got to tell you, man, it's changed my life. It really has. The cold plunge is something that I'm 100% on that train.
It made a lot of sense. What they said, it said release some kind of shock protein that's a free radical oxidizer, antioxidant, and it's there's a cardiologist out there making a lot of buzz online talking about the fasting too. He says when you fast, you increase your growth hormone by like thousands of percentages.
Really?
Yeah.
I've done that for the last probably 6-8 months. I normally do a 14-hour fast every day. So and I love it. I love it. I'm clear-headed in the mornings. I don't have any sluggish time at all during the day. Like I wake up early, get in the cold plunge, go to the gym. I don't eat anything until like 1 o'clock, 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And so, if dinner's at 8, between 8:30 and 1:30 the next day, I'm 100% fasted.
The way
except for water.
the way I kind of take it is, whether you guys want to believe this or not, we are animals. Okay, we are of the Homo sapien species category. I tell my patients this all the time because when I try to get them to inspire them to exercise, I tell them, I say, look, whether you like this or not, you are a smart, hairless animal. Okay, I don't like to call people, primates, but in reality, it's similar how close we are to them.
We are primates.
And
98%.
I say the difference between us and them is we have evolved so much and we've gotten so smart that we've eliminated exercise from our need for survival.
Yeah.
And that's the worst thing we could have ever done.
Yep.
And then people wonder why heart disease is so high, cancer is so high, all these things are so high. You have to have it. It's in your DNA.
Mm-hmm.
Exercise should be part of everyone's life. And as we get older, all we're doing as we're getting older, our skeleton just kind of dwindles, man.
Yep.
Our joints lose their strength, our ligaments lose their strength. And so to keep your skeleton strong is the most important thing tied to longevity, right? If you want to live a long, happy, healthy life, and you're not exercising, you're going to have a hard time.
Yep, I agree.
Sure.
I'm so glad that I found fitness when I did. I was 330 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I was pre-diabetic. I had horrible gout, and high blood pressure. I mean, you name it, I had it. I was a smoker, heavy drinker for decades.
No, I think most of my life I've been in the 300s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so getting that weight off has been such a huge benefit to me
sure.
in every way, mentally, physically, in my business, all of these things, the working out and the fitness and the eating healthy and eating right and treating my body the way it should be treated has given me great consequences in all aspects of my life.
It also makes us appreciate the benefits of it more. It's almost like if you're born rich, right? You know, spoiled little brat, you have no appreciation for what it's like.
Nope.
Right? But if you were poor and you became rich, then you understand both sides. Same thing with fitness. If you were at one point overweight and unhealthy, and then you become healthy, then you realize, wow, I look better, I feel better, everything's better, right? My mind's more clear, I'm more sharp. You have a much greater appreciation for it.
Yep. No, I agree. I'm extremely happy that that it's becoming mainstream too.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I remember 5, 6, 7 years ago when I first started working out, it was crazy because I hated going to the gym in January because it was packed. And I was like, man, I hate this. I just hate it. And then by February it was back to, 10 people, 15 people at the gym. And now it's all year, man. It's all year. People are into fitness. I think if COVID did anything, the people that actually listened to the people like Rogan and things like that, they've made some changes. And I know I have.
I think people look better.
Yeah.
Okay. How many six packs exist today versus in the 80s?
Oh, way more now.
I mean, that's my point. Like,
Yeah,
if,
way
you had,
more now.
if you had a six pack in the 80s or 90s, you were like a rarity.
You were a bodybuilder.
You're right.
Yeah. I mean,
now
that's
it's
the category
like,
you got put into.
now, it's like,
Every-
six pack. Everyone's kind of got a six.
Yeah.
Not me, but
Do you know what? You know what? Also, I see at the gym, and maybe this isn't. Maybe it's just because I'm working out at Lifetime, which is a little bit more expensive gym, I guess. Maybe there's a lot more. Like, people have a lot more money. Like, have you noticed that? And maybe it's just where I'm working out. I mean, maybe I'm completely off base here, but most of the people that work out at my gym are successful
Oh, yeah, for sure.
in business.
There's a relationship.
Yeah, not all of them own their own business or anything. What I'm saying is that they're successful at whatever they do as a job. Almost all of them. Like and maybe it's because it's expensive there. Maybe that's probably a lot of it. But man, I got to tell you, I think the discipline that you need to be successful in the gym is also the same discipline you need to be successful with anything in life.
Absolutely.
It's just discipline.
It gives you drive. It gives you motivation. It gives you hustle. And then you realize, like, okay, well, I can do stuff, right? It gives you sort of this confidence that, not just in life and how you look, but how you feel. It's like, well, yeah, I could make that deal, or I can, take this extra mile, call this person, make that deal, sell some more stuff.
Yeah,
for
people
sure.
need to do hard things.
For sure.
People need to do hard things.
sure.
It's so rewarding when you've done something that's difficult and it works.
Yeah.
And you get through it and you've learned. So on to the next thing. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get sidetracked for 20 minutes on gym
No,
etiquette.
that was great. No, we like gym etiquette. Gym etiquette.
So I do want to talk about the DeSantis Twitter thing, though.
Oh, yeah, me
I'd like to. Maybe we can even close out with this because we've gone about an hour now. But can you pull up that article for me?
I also want to tell you, I'm lower on DeSantis than I've ever been.
Yeah, and so am I now. I got to tell you, I think that the idea to do this on Twitter was a phenomenal idea.
Oh, yeah.
I think being able to go direct to the American people with an app like that, knowing that you're not going to get censored, knowing that it's not going to be spun a different way, knowing that you can have those direct communication lines, I think that is what the American people want, and that's why I think it was going to be an unbelievably big success.
I think 700,000 people logged on to listen to it.
But
And it wasn't his fault.
it wasn't DeSantis' fault.
No, it's not his
It
fault.
wasn't DeSantis' fault, but they had some major
Oh,
problems.
yeah, major. I heard. Ben Shapiro talked about it. I
And,
didn't see it.
I don't know. I don't think that the problem that Twitter had was going to hurt him. I think that what happened is that because it happened the way it did, that he turned into a robot during the whole thing. I think, maybe it was, and maybe he's just like that. I mean, people have said that he's not very social at all, and he's not a people person, like, at all.
Yeah, he says the right things. He has the right idea. He's really just a Trump mini-me. Sebastian Gorka said that on PBD the other day.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it's true. I mean,
Policy-wise, I think they're very, very similar policy-wise.
he's not funny.
That's the difference.
Yeah,
He doesn't have sarcasm. He doesn't understand social interactions.
I mean, I like
very
him.
well. He's extremely smart. And we talked about this before the podcast. He would be an unbelievable chief of staff.
Listen, I want him involved.
Unbelievable chief of staff.
I would like him involved in some way.
Yeah.
But right now, you're giving me the choice. Trump, DeSantis. I'm Trump all day.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's no question.
Did
all
we get
day.
those reflexes on camera? That was quick, bro.
That's good. Well, I do have to be good at that. That's it.
I don't think we got it on camera, but that was pretty quick, bro. I thought it was about to make a huge noise.
No,
So it says DeSantis. This is the Hill, so this is definitely a right-leaning paper. But DeSantis' image suffers dent after rocky Twitter launch, which I think the Twitter thing was a bad omen for Twitter. I don't think it really messed with DeSantis' image or anything like that.
It was bad for Musk for sure.
Right, but I think the right idea. But to go on, I don't know if you listened to the full thing or not. Basically, what happened was they had an issue. They moved over to this other guy's page. So they could do it. They let it build up a little bit, and then they basically just gave DeSantis the floor and let him have his 5-minute speech. Yeah. And you could tell this is what he was doing.
Yeah,
he was sitting there reading a speech. That was the wrong move. Yeah. He should not have done that. It should have been. It should have at least felt more off the cuff. Yeah. Than what it was, because Trump had just done this CNN thing to where that he didn't get the questions before, and he absolutely destroyed. He destroyed on a network that was going to give him absolutely no points at all.
He was very likable during that town hall,
and he did great, and he did an unbelievable job. And I think DeSantis did the exact opposite of that in his Twitter thing. I think DeSantis's Twitter idea was fabulous. Yeah. Execution was beyond poor.
But
he needs to fire his marketing team right now.
But again, it wasn't his fault. I feel bad.
It was his fault for speaking the way he spoke.
I see what you're saying.
I don't care. I don't care that Twitter crashed. I don't care about any of that. His what he said was great. Like if you listen to the words and you just read the transcript, exactly what he says is awesome. Like I want all of those things. I want America to go back to what America was. I want it to be. I want it to be great. I think this country has the potential again to be the superpower that it has been over the last 100 years, and I think that we can change it. I really do, and I think he could do it if he was elected. The problem is that he's unelectable right now. He needs a new marketing team. He needs to be able to go out and share things off the cuff because he's an extremely smart guy, overly smart guy. He knows every single data point. He knows every single talking point, but he needs to say it in a way that makes him more socially vulnerable. Something he needs to make jokes. He needs to
a little more authentic and genuine.
Anything at all. And he would again immediately jump back up to my top pick. The problem is that I don't know if he can do it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't dislike DeSantis. I actually like him a lot.
I like him a lot,
and I want him to be involved. I want him to be in charge of stuff. But for me, he, you compare the two, no way. And Mike, we talked about this before. You realize, okay, if Trump gets in, he's got his agenda ready to go. Day one. He knows exactly what to do.
Because he can't be reelected.
No, not just that. He's been there.
I understand, but even more so.
Yeah.
What people don't realize is that when Trump got into office, right, he knew the next battle that he was going to have to face was in 4 years. He realized that. He knew exactly what he was getting into, and he knew that I have to do this, this, and this just so I can get reelected, so I can then put all of my stuff, my policy in place. I really do think that. Yeah. And I think that he had a really, really good chance of winning that election. I think that with
COVID,
with Twitter and everything else and COVID, it was never going to happen. No. This time though, day one, he already knows exactly everything that's going on, right? He was just there 4 years ago.
He's ready.
He's ready to go, and he doesn't have to worry about getting reelected. He doesn't have. He can pull that off the table immediately.
sure.
So I don't have to worry about this.
Yeah.
This is gone. I can't ever get reelected after this one again. So now it's just about policy.
Yeah,
Let's just get the policy through. Let's get it done. And I think if he's able to become the next president of the United States, maybe not even the next one, but let's just. I think he's going to have to be the next one. But if he's able to become the next president of the United States, watch out, because this man is going to change the United States for the better. I think.
I think so too. I agree. DeSantis, if he goes in, it's going to take him a while to learn the system and figure out who's the rhino, who's not.
Exactly.
Sebastian Gorka, he was on PBD. One thing that he said, which resonated with me, he said, the president has like 40-something deputy of the president. They call them DOPs. He was one of them, okay? He said one of them in particular hated President Trump. So literally you have a guy in there who's your deputy and you hate the president. Because,
you hate your boss.
Yeah, because when Trump got in, imagine he didn't, and again, remember, it was hard to figure out, who's really on your side, who's not. And so now he knows exactly who's got his back, who doesn't have his back.
He knows exactly where
got
to go
his
to get
agenda.
things done.
So that's why, to me, that's a big deal in terms of like trying to elect the next president.
It is a big deal, and I think, I know why DeSantis is doing it. I understand that. I think before he announced to run, I think he probably had a pretty good shot at winning the Republican primary. The problem now is I don't think he can do it. I don't think he can beat Trump.
I'm excited for the debates.
I am too. And what is going on? Why are we not going to be able to see Robert Kennedy have a debate?
Oh, because it's very clear. The DNC came out and said in particular.
But I got to tell you, if I had to vote for Biden or Robert F. Kennedy, I would be Kennedy all day long.
Buddy. I don't even know
and twice on Sunday.
Who this Bobby Kennedy character is, but I obviously would pick him over
I've seen
Biden
a bunch of his.
day.
I haven't really delved into it, and honestly, Do you ever wish that you had a little bit more time that you could actually go down some of these rabbit holes?
Yeah, but then
more?
To be honest, like I told you one time, I wish I didn't have to care as much, man. I really don't. When life was so much better when I was a kid and I didn't have to care about this political crap.
No, I know.
And as we
the problem is it affects our daily lives.
Exactly,
it does affect our daily lives.
As you get older, I remember as a kid, I would watch my dad. He's always watching the news, and in my head, I'm like, why do you even care? Like, why are you watching the news? It gives a shit. Why are you watching the news?
Yeah,
Just
you
like,
feel so separated.
Watch a movie. Watch Full House. Watch, Steve Urkel. The stuff we grew up on. I was like, that's way more fun. And he was always watching the news. And then as I got older, I'm like, okay, I get it. It's almost like because if you're not keeping up, then you almost feel like you're not involved in anything, involved in all of the stuff that's going on around you. You want to feel like you're part of it. You know?
Well, I think DeSantis has a huge hill to climb. I think that he has unfortunately dug himself a hole now, and he's going to have to dig himself out of it. And the only way that I think he's going to dig himself out of it is to get his wife involved. Apparently, from what people say, she is a rock star.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. I've never heard her talk.
Rock star.
Yeah.
But I think that they need to put the camera and the microphone in front of her and let her tell people who her husband actually is. I think if it can come out of her mouth in a way that makes him more personable and makes him a real dude instead of like just this talking head robot that talks very, very well and very data driven, that if you can win the people, and PBD said this the other day on his podcast, if he can win the people, he will win the election. The problem is he's got to win the people first. He has to. And the only way to do that is with a really, really good marketing team. I think DeSantis, you should fire your marketing team. I think you should hire someone else. And I think that you should let the gloves off. Start throwing haymakers. Because if you don't start right now, you're done. You're way too far behind already.
Yeah. I just wish they can come to terms and run. They could still theoretically run together, right?
Because, 100%.
Because Biden and Harris were running against each other.
Yes, exactly, exactly. After the primary, let's just say that Trump gets the nod, that he's going to be the Republican nominee for president of the United States. That day, he could come out and go say, "Hey, DeSantis, let's do this.
So that's
let's do it together."
That's why I hope they can kind of stay civil.
I don't think they will because I don't think Trump will be able to stay civil.
Oh, we'll see.
Because that's how he'll win.
Yeah.
He won't be civil.
But like you saw at the town hall, Trump gets it now.
I think so.
He knows. You saw he's much. I think he's tired. I think he's tired. I mean, the amount of political persecution this dude's been through is like, I wouldn't wish that upon
no
my
one on
worst
earth.
enemy ever.
No one on earth.
I mean, you know how thick of a skin you have to withstand
And the
all they've done to
propaganda,
him.
all the lies.
All the lies, all the propaganda, the raids. Good God, man. It's
crazy, man.
It is insane.
It's crazy.
So, but he's tired. He's chilled down. So I think we're going to see a different Trump here for this election cycle.
I hope so, because I think that a different Trump with the same policies that Trump has, a different social Trump than what he was before, and keep the policy in place that what he was doing. I think you could, it might even be Reagan-esque.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly,
for sure.
honestly, and I think Reagan's probably one of the best presidents we ever had.
Oh yeah, going back and listening to his speeches.
Oh.
That's guys. They're popping up on my Insta all the time.
Yeah, I love it.
It's like poetic.
I love it.
Authentic too.
Well, man, great podcast today.
Yeah, for sure.
We got into a lot of stuff. As we leave, we want to highlight a Houston area spot.
Yes, sir.
And where was it last time that we highlighted? Seal was last week.
Yeah.
We highlighted Seal. And this week we want to highlight our friend Donovan.
Yes, sir.
And Pretty Liar. So if we could pull it up on the screen. This is Pretty Liar. I was out there last night. Again, we went out there during the day and stayed till about 8:30, 9 o'clock last night. We had a great time. It is always hopping there. Donovan is one of the hustlers out there that is just absolutely crushing the night game. He's got an insurance company. I think he's also got an electric company as well.
Him and Jeremy. Yeah.
And I mean, they are just absolutely crushing it right now. So if you're in the Houston area and you want to have a drink at a place that's got great music, great atmosphere, they've got an awesome inside nightclub, they've got a day club outside that is just spectacular. It's in a great spot of Houston, and we highly, highly, highly recommend it. We had a great time last night.
For sure. No, they've done a great job there, for sure.
Done a great job, and it just keeps getting better. I mean, the staff there is superb. They wait on you hand and foot. They're nice. It's not overly expensive either for a spot where it's at and the clientele that they've got. And I think last time I went in there, I think 50 Cent was in there, and Vince Young was in there, and it's a hot spot now. Hot spot.
Classy place too. That's the key.
Yeah, it's really nice, really nice.
Sure.
So appreciate everybody, and thanks for giving us a listen. If you wouldn't mind sharing as much as you can, we're going to have some clips come out on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and all of those platforms. So if you wouldn't mind sharing our stuff, we'd really appreciate it. And that's it for today. And happy Memorial Day. And thank you to all our service members. And this should post here pretty soon. So we'll see y'all soon. And goodbye. Appreciate y'all.
Good job, Mike.
Good one.
Sir.
Yeah, the gym thing was good.
Oh, yeah.